So guys, welcome back to the channel. This right here is the Ian West Network, and today we're going to talk about the Tetris Hyperkin Edition controller. It's a pixel art controller, limited edition. Believe it or not, these are about $40, so it's not too expensive, but you can actually find them at Burlington Co-Factory right now for a whopping $17.99 if you look at the price tag. It may say originally $23, that's not what it normally is. These are normally $39.99. As a matter of fact, you can get them on Amazon for a discount, or you can go to the Hyperkin website. And no, this is not something that was sent to me. This is something that I just happened to purchase at Burlington Co-Factory. I wanted an extra controller, and guess what, guys? It works for Android. I tried it. It works for Mac. I didn't try it for Mac though. PC, I did try that. Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, many different other things that you're probably not even thinking of right now, but we're going to unbox that right now. So with that being said, timestamps are in the description for anyone interested in jumping to a certain part. Not going to waste your time. Let's get right into this video. So no need to waste any time. I found this pretty interesting because, after the holidays, I happened to get this a couple days ago, as a matter of fact. Went to Burlington, they're open like 8 in the morning or something. And nobody was really in the store, maybe like 5 or 6 people. And I happened to see this against the wall, and I was surprised that nobody bought it. Now, again, this is going to be more so for a collector, for being completely honest here. You have a lightning control button right here, which is like a turbo-ish button. You have the physical home button for the Switch to go to your main menu, of course. These are the Switch buttons. Start and select. You have the 2 analogs, this, and of course the 4 top buttons. In addition to that, this little pin right here, I believe it is, is a reset button pin. And you have your USB-C cable charger. Remember, it does work in corded mode also, or Bluetooth mode. And you have the option where it says Bluetooth. This is how you put it in Bluetooth. And switch mode, SW for switch. And of course, when you switch between those two, you're going to hold this button for like 5 seconds or so, and it's going to start blinking, and it will put it in pair mode. Now you can pair it to 2 devices. One's going to be the Bluetooth, one's going to be the Nintendo Switch, and you can just switch between them. If you hold the button for 5 seconds, it'll turn off the controller, and you can just use it in corded mode by plugging it in. So, multitasking, that's a pretty cool thing. Let's put this to the side right here. Just so you know, when you first open up this box, it's going to have these big little circle things on top of the analogs to protect it, but I already, unboxed it and used it. You do have your own USB-C cable right here, USB-C to USB-A, in case anyone is wondering right here. I didn't actually use this because I have so many cables on my own, but just keep in mind it does come with one. I think it's about 6 feet, 7 feet. I forget the exact size. Anyway, you have this, your booklet, which is going to be very important. And then we have these right here, which is just some papers and a little sticker right here. So I'm just going to toss that to the side for right now. Now, sadly, I didn't get anything that says the battery life. Website didn't say it. Amazon didn't say it. I normally use this in corded mode. I only use it for about 3 hours or so. And actual Bluetooth mode connected to the Switch, and it didn't die on me. So it does have a decent enough battery life, but again, you can charge it and use it at the same time, whether you're plugged into a PC or if you're using it wirelessly. So just keep that in mind. But for right here, I think this is a really nice looking controller. Now, there are other designs on the website in case you guys are wondering, which, to be honest with you, look way better than this one. But for the asking price, that's all they had, and it was $17.99, so why not? But what I will say is that for the person out there, you may have a little problem holding this in your hand because this is a very small controller. It's supposed to look like the retro 8-bit controller, like a throwback toward that time, of course. And then the old Nintendo controllers are like square with 2 buttons on here and just a press and start and stuff, no analog or anything. But this isn't bad so far. I do like it. But anyway, more importantly, let me show you how to sync it to multiple devices so you can actually use it whenever you feel like it. So real fast, I kind of skipped the part. Let's go over the instructions. This is actually very, very important for anyone that wants to know what this thing can actually do. So on the first page, let me kind of get that out of the glare out of the way. Here we are. You can see where all the buttons are right here. Just make sure you pause this section and screenshot whatever it is that you need or take a photo of it. So I'm going to move kind of fast right here. You have it where it says quick reference, getting to know your pixel art controller. Let me get the glare out of there. Charging, power, vibration settings, Hyperkin button home. Oh, by the way, if you're a Steam Deck or like a PC user, you do have the option of switching the buttons around so that it'll actually pop up the way the controller is. So the B, A, and XY switched around on Xbox. So these buttons right here would correspond with whatever it is you're clicking if you go into the settings and change your controller that way. So just keep in mind. But most people that are avid gamers, they remember the buttons. So they don't have to worry about that. You don't have to look down. So anyway, you have using turbo functions right there, how to factory restore the controller, connecting to pixel art controller. It shows you how to do that right now. And I'm going to show you guys in the next section. So don't worry about that. You have the Windows 10 section right here, Bluetooth connection for PC Game Pass users. So you can use it for Game Pass, you can use it for Macs, Bluetooth right here. It does a lot, man. Like I was really surprised about that. For Android, it shows you how to do it. For wired connections for Android, Bluetooth connections for Game Pass for Android, because Androids have Game Pass. For Steam Deck, it shows you how to use it. Chromebook, so there's many different options in this. Even Raspberry Pi. Now, I knew someone that told me about Raspberry Pi, but I don't really think that's super popular compared to the other conventional options. But it's not bad. And surprisingly, this works for a Tesla? I don't know who's going to use this for a Tesla, but it is what it is. Now, outside of that, it does just show you different languages and whatnot for, you know, other languages. I'm not going to go through that part to show you the English. But that's pretty much it. So with that being said, let's move on to the next section, which is going to be how to sync it. So as you can see, this is a Nintendo Switch. Very simple, very easy to sync. Now, I haven't sunk a controller in a while, to be honest with you, but we're going to do it anyway together, so I'm going to fumble a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and hit the home button. I'm going to go ahead and where it says controllers. Well, first off, let's go to settings first, and I want to make sure that this is turned on. Where it says controllers and sensors, controller vibration, I'm going to turn that on. Oh, why was that off? And I'm going to turn on Pro Controller. Oh, I guess I don't have a Pro Controller connected, but here you go. Just want to make sure. We're going to see the top of this right here where it says Bluetooth BT, and then it says SW. We'll put it in SW right now. Then we're going to hold this button for 3 seconds. Here we go. Look, it's syncing. So all you got to do is just go to the controller placement right here and grip reorder. Just let it find it. Bam, found it. There we go. See, it's currently connected, as you can see. Little glare right there. So I'm just going to hit the B button to go backwards to show you that the controller is fully functional and it is working right now. So that's how you sync it to a Nintendo Switch. And just to double check to make sure that everything's good to go, hit the home button, hit start, bam, here we are. Yep, and it's all the Nintendo Switch buttons. Remember, this controller is in fact set up for Nintendo Switch for 100% functionality. It even has vibration in the controller, I believe. Yeah, I think the controller also had vibration. We talked about it a little bit earlier when I went over some of the specs of the controller. But anyway, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So it does work. So for the person out there that wants to use this, you have no problems whatsoever with Nintendo Switch. More importantly, I'm going to show you how to sync it to a Steam Deck because this is the Bluetooth functionality. Let's get into that. So now we're going to sync it to a Steam Deck. Now keep in mind, if you have a Bluetooth device, it should sync without a problem. In the settings, I didn't see anything that said it synced to a PlayStation controller because, you know, Sony's a little anal about what they allow other third-party controllers to sync to, but everyone else doesn't seem to care, if we're being honest here. Anyway, it's in switch mode. You're going to go ahead and put over Bluetooth over here. We're going to hold this button for the same way the last time for 3 seconds or a couple seconds until it starts blinking on the bottom. All right, so it's in Bluetooth pairing mode right now. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the home button, settings, go to Bluetooth right here. We're going to show, actually, you need to do that. I'm just going to scroll down here. Hyperlink, oh, that's my fault. Hyperlink XPad, I believe. Why do you keep doing that? Here we go, Hyperkin XPad right here. I'm going to go ahead and, dude, I got to stop doing that. I don't know if it's me or if it's the Bluetooth. Here we go. So now it's going to sync. Give it a second. All right, so it's currently connected right now. And just to show you that it's working, here we go, pressing up and down. If you hit the home button, it actually pulls up the menu on the Steam Deck. And if you hit the, remember the B button, the buttons are switched around. So if you hit A, it's going to go backwards. And B is supposed to be the button that actually clicks the game. Now, I do want to say that if you go to the settings of controllers and games like this, just show anyone that's interested, you go to properties. Use the, well, I'm going to put the force tool on there anyway. I should probably keep that on. Right here, where it says controllers, it says use default. You actually have the option where it says Nintendo Switch enabled Steam Deck default. So that's why Nintendo Switch controllers actually work for it. But you also have the options to go into the settings of the game itself, not the game itself, but the settings of the Steam Deck or your PC. And you can switch the buttons around. So the keys will appear as if, you know, the way the controller is actually set up. Though the functionality is going to be a little bit different, and that's going to confuse some people that's used to Xbox controllers. My suggestion is just leave it alone, sync the controller, use it in coordinate mode, whatever you want to do. And remember, on Xbox, this is A, this is B, this is X, and this is Y. So just kind of keep that in mind. But for that person out there that actually wants the buttons to switch and correspond with the proper keys, you can go in settings and change that. It's not guaranteed it's going to work for every game, but it will work for some of the games on Steam and whatnot. So just keep that in mind. So let's get this out of the way right now. The controller performance is actually very, very good. It's a solid product. I don't have any issues with it, you know, breaking so far. It's only been a couple days, obviously, which I'm going to do an update on this controller. But most of the times when you buy something around that $40 price range, it tends to work pretty well. Now, input lag, is it there? No. I played Nintendo Switch games. Did not have a problem with any type of input lag whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I played Blasphemous 2. I wanted to play something that was a little bit faster moving. In addition to that, I also played Chrono Cross, that was on the Nintendo Switch. There was another game, I forgot what it's called, Hogwarts Legacy. I had that on the Switch. And there was one more. It's a faster paced Metroidvania type game. In fact, Metroid Dread, that's what it was. Didn't have any input lag whatsoever, whether it's in Bluetooth mode, which is the Nintendo Switch mode, or whether it's in coordinate mode. Both of them work just fine. And yes, you can play it while it's charging, so you don't have to worry about that. When it comes to the Steam Deck, it only works in Bluetooth mode. Well, no, I'm sorry. It works in coordinate mode too if you plug it up directly to the back of the Steam Deck dock. It works perfectly fine. But I actually used it in Bluetooth mode completely because most people aren't going to want a 10-foot cord sitting in front of their face. They're going to want it to be completely wireless for convenience. And again, no input lag. And we're talking about games from Dead Space Remake. We're talking about Cyberpunk. We're talking about Resident Evil 4 Remake. Games that are higher end to make sure that the controller can perform. It performs very well. In addition to that, I did have it hooked up to the PC. Now, the PC, again, no problem because it is, Steam Deck is also a PC accessory. So again, it worked perfectly fine. And unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation, so I wasn't able to test it on that. But because the settings said nothing about PlayStation, I'm going to assume that it doesn't work for PlayStation. But yeah, outside of that, it's perfectly fine. The only downside that you're going to have, and this is kind of important, is that because of the sheer size of the controller, some people are going to kind of just like, it's not an input lag situation. It's more of a situation where when you try to respond quickly with commands, because the controller feels like really conjoined and small, you might accidentally tap something that isn't the right button, or your button placement for a regular sized Xbox controller with these hook curves. It feels entirely different. It feels natural. That controller takes time to get used to, so your reaction time might be a little bit slower playing something like Elden Ring or something like that. But if we're just talking about the sheer quality, this controller works perfectly fine, and I have nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. So to answer the question whether this is a decent controller, yes, it's actually pretty good. Now, once you get past the actual physical size of the controller, everything works pretty well. It didn't have any lag latency when I played the games that I played. Of course, I hooked this up to the Nintendo Switch. As you saw, I did play with it on the phone for a little bit, but I didn't put that in the video. And I used it, of course, hooked up to my PC in addition to the actual Steam Deck. And it works pretty good. So, again, for the asking price, normally they're $40. But if you happen to go to your local, what's the place called again? Burlington Coat Factory. That's where I found it for that $17.99 price. And you can't go wrong with that. Even if you get it, use it for a little bit, decide to put it away later on, it's still something that works with multiple systems. So it's not a bad controller to have to throw away. If you invite someone over, you just need an extra controller to play. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, and see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.